There we go. Hey, Robbie, how you doing, man?
Doing good. How about you, Al?
I am doing well. Hey, we have Matt Drone World, Matty's Drone World here. Hey, thanks for joining, man. Appreciate it.
Robbie, how you doing, man? Doing good. How about you, Al?
I am doing well. So, what's been happening on your end of the world, Robbie?
It's been hot down here, man. So hot. It's either hot or we're having thunderstorms down here in Nashville, Tennessee.
Yeah, I know, right? So, yeah. So, unfortunately, Robbie, we have Fred is out right now. He's dealing with some issues at home, and of course, our condolences go to Brad because he just lost his mother. So, understandably, he's not here. But he said he might drop by, so we look forward to that. And Fred also said he's going to try to make it. So we're a little short-handed today, but I think you and I can handle this, right?
No problem.
Yeah. So why don't we just go ahead and get started here? I'm going to get started on the DJI SE sale. So I'm going to play a little video, and then we'll get started. So there we are, Robbie. DJI decided not to sell the SE here, the Mini SE in the U.S. market. I wonder why. What are your thoughts?
Al, it's really hard to say because, there's been so much speculation on this drone, what it is, what its features it's going to have, what the price point is. And I tell you, a lot of the stuff that everybody was saying about this drone, they were way off on a lot of things. So looking through the upper cases and lower cases of copyrights that we thought were the right thing, they could have been, maybe they weren't, but we've got a lot of stuff to talk about tonight and give some people ideas of what this drone really is and what it really looks like. Because I've seen a few fakes on YouTube where people have shown, I've seen 2 already. It's not the drone.
Yeah, it's so true. I was just typing and saying hello to, Maddie here on the chat, and we also have Drone Views Media joining us. How you doing, guys? Glad to have you. Appreciate you joining, and of course, Travel Tech 360 is on there. How you doing, Robbie? So, you want to get into the discussion of the SE?
Sure, let's do that. Let me get my screen ready here where I can share it.
Okay, and we'll just do that. Yeah, it's always interesting to see, how companies decide what market to target first. And I thought for sure it would have been the U.S. market, but it makes a lot of sense. And I know that it's a lower end, for us, it's on the low end of the budget, but that's on the high end of the rest of the world, right?
Right.
So that makes sense why they would get it.
Yeah. I know in some of the markets, how, as I was saying before, and from previously working at Dell, when I was living in Costa Rica, there was a particular Dell I wanted. So I went to Dell's site, of course. They rerouted me over to the Costa Rica Dell location. And it's like I couldn't get my browser to get to USA. So I turned my VPN on, got logged in, got over there, and started explaining that, hey, I want to get this shipped. And I was going to have it shipped over to my family in the U.S., and then they were going to put it in a box and ship it to me. And when I told them that, it was instantly, we can't sell it or ship it to you. Get in touch with the Dell in Costa Rica, click, and that was it. So they have territories, and I'm sure DJI is set up the same way, where they can, actually only sell in certain areas. Now, I have a dealer that's in Southeast Asia that sells the drone, that has it. They were the first company to have it in Southeast Asia. And I found one company in Canada that had it, which I don't know whether they bought it privately and had it shipped to them or what their quantity is. But the U.S., as you said, doesn't have them. So this is what you get in the regular the SE. The SE, if y'all can see that, are you displaying the screen there? Out there you go. This is what you get with the regular package. It's got the original controller from the Mini. The battery is exactly the same as the other Minis, so you can interchange the batteries. So that's
you're saying it's the lithium-ion batteries? Is that
yes?
Okay, so we're used to the lithium-ion batteries. What a rugged battery, right?
Yeah. Now, according to pricing, by averaging out overseas and doing the translation in money, this drone costs $320.25. I don't know. I'm not sure if that includes the shipping here. Probably not, but that's what it sells for. And then you can get the Fly More combo, which is here. You get the 3 batteries, basically the same setup that you get there. And it sells for $434 for the Fly More pack.
That's a pretty good price, man. $435.
Yeah,
wow.
It is too. We talked about this. We talked about this 2 weeks ago, and the big things that we were wanting to know were about the sensors. Everybody was telling us about the onboard storage. It was going to have like 8 or 16 gig, depending on which model you bought, stuff like that. Well, let's look at some of the images here. This is the box for the Fly More pack. This is the real deal. It's not a copy or made up. It's the real thing. Here's the regular standard one here.
So even the boxes, I noticed they were in English, even if they're selling in Asia, huh?
Yeah, exactly. Because, I'm sure the market's huge.
Yeah, it says 249G there I'm looking at, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's interesting. So they don't have, the boxing's already rigged for the U.S. market, but not their market.
This is the side of the box. It just has some basic information on it. And as I go through and show you the pictures as we talk, I'll pull up the specs and show you what the real specs are and show you some of the good and bad things about this drone, what you're going to run into if people do buy it, because you can get it overseas. Matter of fact, Al, I think I saw it on Banggood. I think they're selling it there where you can pay and they'll ship you one there.
I think AliExpress is showing it too.
There's the original case from the DJI. They must have had a ton of them or just felt like the frame was the same. So they just went with the same casing.
Yeah, as Fred would say, they're just emptying all their closets, all the bins. And,
absolutely.
Backroom closets. Yeah, this is exactly like the original Mini release.
Yeah. This is what you get when it's first opened. It's not been touched here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Here's the top.
Right. I see that.
Okay, here's the bottom, and there's the button. We talked about the power button on the last, I think, 2 streams that we had before. We were looking at the frame, and it was showing where something was there, and we had said that was probably the power button, which it is now. It's only got a down-facing sensor, and that's it. There's nothing else on this drone.
Yeah, and so it's got the optical flow camera and the 2 other sensors there. Topaz, I think.
Okay, now here's the back. See that SD slot? There is no onboard memory on this. There's none.
Yeah, that would have been the Xeno Pro, the Mini Pro. The Xeno Mini Pro is the one that's got the options of 64 or 128. But I'm looking at a USB Type C here.
Yeah, that's the power, and then to the right of it, the right of it is the slot for the SD card. Because when we were talking before, some of the people were saying that this wasn't going to come out in a Fly More pack, and it only it came with memory already in it where you couldn't upgrade it. There was no SD slot that we could see. Well, it's here. It's right here. This is the real thing.
Yeah, and it looks like we got a couple more people join us here. We have Akaraso joining us. Thanks for joining, guys. Appreciate it. I just got a message from Fred that he is driving back from his mother. Mother had a little bit of a requirements for Fred, so he had to go help her, and he's coming back. But yeah, so the DVR is right there. That's the same place. The big difference that I see here is the USB-C Type C connector. So that's big because the original one had this the micro.
Right.
So it looks like they're transitioning all over to the Type C, which is great. The
Right.
micro is kind of a pain in the butt
Yeah,
too.
absolutely.
You
Al,
agree?
these are the specs. Just
Mm-hmm.
going down through, if you can see that, okay. Now, I
Mm-hmm.
talked to someone that has flown the drone, and they're telling me that they're only getting like 26 minutes out of the battery, not 30 minutes.
Wow.
So just yeah, they're
You,
never
you
right.
you want to go ahead and click on one of these videos because unless you want me to stop the share.
Can you see what I'm sharing here?
Yeah, all your pictures, but they're little
Yeah,
icons.
yeah. Okay, I
Yeah.
can stop here.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, and I was just looking at the specs on. Let me see, where am I at? Um, yeah. So this is Banggood. I'll share what I'm seeing in Banggood. Share screen. Yeah. There. We share that one. And I'll go ahead and blow it up. Yeah, so they're adding in this mini case here, but what's really intriguing to me is the snap adapter. So it looks like we're going to get these accessories, guys. You see that? So they're talking personalize your Mini SE with a wide range of compatible accessories. So this one's really intriguing to me. So it looks like these compatible accessories are going to have a direct plug-in into the circuitry of the SE. So you don't have to I don't know. I'm thinking you're probably going to get power from the drone or maybe not. Or is it just a physical connector or do we have electronic, electrical
No, it's
pinouts
just
in there?
no, it's just
What did
it's
your
hardware.
source
It's only
say?
hardware.
What did your source say?
Yeah, there's nothing like on the top. Those are just snapped on.
Yeah, it's got a spectral connector apparently. I don't know. I mean,
No,
is
not
it
in
because,
not in the
but
top. It doesn't.
no, but if you look at the tops on the right here, look at the top of the
Yeah,
drone. You see that?
yeah.
Oh crap! Sorry, I meant to double click this. Can I get it to enlarge? Nope. And then, so this web page is not going to let me enlarge it. Nope,
Yeah.
it won't. Sorry about that, guys. So anyway, you can see this drone looks different than this one. Why?
Well, the reason is number one is the angle. Number two, your camera that's on top of your left image, it is actually screwed into another piece that snaps over the top of the drone now.
That's what I'm thinking. That's what I was asking. It looks like a different
Yeah, there's
plane
nothing.
mounted
There's
on there.
nothing on the new drone. No, there's nothing on the new drone that has that.
Yeah, because if you go back here and we look at the original pictures from the top, it's clean. There's nothing there. You see that?
Yeah.
And then
Yep.
moving slightly up further, passing all the marketing stuff, the nose looks exactly the same. Like you said, the battery looks the same. And here's, the classic holding the drone in your hand. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I just don't see that connector, just snap in piece that they're talking about.
No,
So I'm
it locks over
intrigued.
like your propellers.
Yeah, it's a little intriguing to me why, the top hat looks different with the snap in piece. So it's got to be some kind of accessory
You can
that's mounts on top of the original Mini, or do you have to buy it that way? I wish I could zoom
no.
in. Yeah.
Hey Al,
Yeah.
on the top where it says snap adapter, that camera part is screwed into a plastic piece that snaps over the top of the drone, similar to the prop holders that you use to keep your props and propellers in place. Not the rubber one, but the hard one that you've got for the. I think it's the
PGY
air.
test stuff. Yeah. The PGY
Yeah,
Take Air 2 stuff.
that's what it is. You can see it by looking at it. You can see the plastic the way it's cut out. So that just snaps over. That's what it does.
Yeah. So you're thinking of snapping right over this little little gap where the arms
Well,
hinge.
it's hooking in where
And,
the sensor is. It's
oh,
hooked in where the sensor is.
and the other one looks like it snaps in where the eye is. You see where the eye
Exactly.
is? So you got the two eyes that get a little snap because you see the little square there, and then it
Yep.
snaps in the back. So
Absolutely.
yeah, but you're going to have adapter, snap adapter. The snap adapter, that's
Yeah.
interesting because you got to be able to mount stuff on top. And from reading the documentation, it can't be more than 30 grams. Is what they were saying. Let me see if I can find that for you. Snap. Let me just. Can I control F for snap? Maybe. I bet you're not. Nope. It's not. It's not going to show up because with the way they do the advertising here, all these are text, but anything down in here is a picture. So I can't highlight anything. I have to
Yeah.
read it. So unfortunately, yeah, what I read is 30 grams is the max you can carry on the snap adapter in it. What else did you find out, Robbie? I'm going to go ahead and.
Well, there's no OptiSync on it. It goes 4K is your flight distance, which is 2.4 miles. So it just uses the original Wi-Fi connection.
Okay, they're using the original Wi-Fi connection. Gotcha.
And then
So
it's got a
guys,
half. It's got a 0.3 CMOS on the camera.
let's see, what are these guys saying? Hey, FSU grad 03 has joined us. Thanks for joining, Gerald. Gerald Congdon has joined us also. Thanks for joining, guys. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, interesting stuff. When you start dissecting and how they're doing the marketing. Um, so, Robbie, what do you think of my shirt, man? Check it out.
I like it. It looks good, man. Looks good.
Oh, yeah, the
Lots of
back.
patches.
Yeah, the back.
All right.
Yeah, so I decided to create a NASCAR shirt. So that's when I ended up with logos everywhere. I'm still missing a logo on this side here, guys. So I'm looking for a logo. Robbie, did you got an extra one you want to give me so I can
Yeah,
iron
we'll
it on?
find something.
All right, man. So that'll complete my NASCAR look. There you go. So yeah. So the price on this is going to be $329 for the one battery, and then you said it was
Yeah,
$429.
it's 434 for the
Four
Flymore
thirty-four.
pack. Now you can get them there's some places in Canada that has them. Somebody made a comment. It might have been Maddie that made a comment that Lauren had them in Canada. So evidently
Oh
you can
yeah,
buy them. Yeah.
that's awesome because I'm not the price that I'm seeing on. See, this is AliExpress and excuse me, and Banggood are showing 449. But what do you get out of it? I think
Yeah. Is that the
it's.
Flymore or just the regular?
I don't think it's a fly more. Let me see. Let me go ahead and share the screen so you guys can see what I'm looking at
Yeah,
here.
Maddie says that Lauren has it in Canada for $369. Maddie, do you know if that's just the drone or is that the Flymore pack?
So while we're waiting on Maddie to answer that one, I'll go ahead and uh, add a share here. Stop sharing, and then I'm going to share my screen and show you what I'm looking at. Okay, so this is the Banggood site, and they're showing this as 449. That includes, yeah, it doesn't say in the header, but let's see what's in there. Specifications,
Look
gimbal,
at the batteries.
features, package includes. Yeah, so it includes one battery, it looks like here. Yeah, remote control intelligence. Where's the back?
Yeah, but it's got two. It's got for that and below it the SE. So which one is that one though? That's the issue.
Yeah, which one are you buying for 449? Right?
Yep.
But it doesn't show it here. So quite interesting how they do things. So willy nilly there, you know.
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing. That's enough of that.
Okay.
All right. Sorry to interrupt. You were saying that your source that flew the Mini SE out there got what 20 minutes, 25 minutes?
Yeah. Yeah. It's 26 minutes was the
26.
actual flight time on it. Yeah.
Anything else he shared with you?
Other than, I mean, I know it doesn't have any OptiSync on it because it's running Wi-Fi. And
Right.
then with that, it does the as far as the intelligent the functions that it has, it doesn't have a zoom or the panorama. It's got the droney, the circle, the helix, and the rocket are the only features that are on it.
Yeah, no smart track, obviously.
It's got a max video bit rate of 40 megabits per second.
Okay. Okay, awesome. So good to hear. I'd love to have Lauren on the show one day and talk to Lauren, pick his brain, and see what he has on that, because it sounds like Canada's got it. I wonder why U.S. was not picked.
Yeah, I don't know. It just doesn't make sense. You would think that we'd have a huge market here. You would think that they would definitely want to release them here. And they didn't. The people that have bought the drone, I've got two people that have bought it that I've talked to already, and they said the only images that they're having out of it, and one of them said he wished he wouldn't have bought it even at the price point, was for the fact that because of the 2.7 on the video, when they start to do cropping and color shading, the image looks terrible. Now this does, so you know, this only when you shoot in this, like the Air 2 will shoot in RAW. This only shoots in JPEG.
Yeah, the photos in JPEG only. And MP4 or MOV, I imagine. And
yeah.
Videos. Yeah. Okay. Let me see if there's anything else you want to discuss here. I'm looking through the specs here, and I don't see anything different than the original Mini. So it's basically a Mini with better range.
Yeah.
And they claim longer flight time, but
well, I don't know about the longer flight time. The 4K flight distance, the 2.4 miles, they both confirmed that the distance was good on that.
Yeah, gotcha.
But they did complain. They did complain about the battery life on that out.
Okay, so it looks like, you know, they're just pulling out whatever component they have, laying around and making a drone that's called the COVID Special Edition.
I think they're doing it so they can keep us busy and keep us from bugging them about the Mavic 3 coming out.
It could be it. I mean,
it's a stall pattern.
Right,
had extra parts.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear you there. So.
Okay, Maddie is saying right now that yes, it's $379 for the Fly More pack in Canada. So that's a good price because overseas it's coming to be $434, and I'm sure that's without shipping, and it's better than Banggood's price. Or who did you just look up?
Banggood, yeah.
Yeah, so it's even better than them. So yeah, if you can get it for that price, but you know, just for a little bit more, you can get a better drone. That's the bad thing about it.
Well, now the question that I see on this is a $379 Canada dollars or U.S. dollars, because the conversion probably puts it in the 400s.
Let me look and see.
Yeah, what is it? Is that U.S. dollars, Maddie? It probably is. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. So for every 100, it's $27 more.
Yeah, yeah. So it's a 1.27 conversion.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. All right, so shall we move on? Let's talk about the replacement parts. I know this is one of the topics that's close and dear to your heart,
Yeah,
right? Uh,
absolutely.
yeah, so if you want to go ahead and take the lead on this, I'll just
Okay.
follow and do what I can to support you on this one.
Okay. I've had so many people now, because when I crashed my Mavic Air 2, issues that I went through, a lot of these people, when you're going out and you're buying
Hmm.
the drone, you're going out and buying it and you're not buying the accessories that you need. Now, I'll say this. Some people think Al's excessive because he got a lot of drones and he's got a lot of parts. And I'm like, Al, why do you buy all these parts? I wish I would have learned earlier and tried the stuff that he tried, because when I crashed my drone for the first time, I crashed, I was hovering beside a bush, and it just like sucked into the bush and spit it out a little bit, maybe 2 foot off the ground, but it spit it over onto the road upside down. And when it did, it broke the gimbal. Just so you know, a lot of the older drones, usually after about a year and a half, right in that range, they'll
Hmm.
start making replacement parts, talking about the gimbals in the camera. That's the biggest thing. Any of you guys that are on our World Drone Community group, scroll down through there and look how many people break gimbals. Al gets people probably every week, if not every 2 weeks, on his channel. I get them on mine, and they always ask, where can I get the camera for these drones? When these new drones come out, they're not going to sell the replacement parts to snap stuff back together. They're going to sell you the whole camera assembly. And in most cases, you don't need it. The camera is fine. It's just what holds the camera in place with the gimbal is what breaks. Every time that I've seen it, Al, that's only on the Air 2 that I've seen. I've not seen very many people with the Pro or the Zoom that have had the issues. And maybe in other drones it's the same issue, but when you're buying these things, you're not going to get these replacement parts. So anything that you can buy to protect it, whether it's a sun shield that sticks out further than the actual camera, or in the case of the new Air, the AS, if you can get those feet extenders on the bottom of that to keep the camera off. I was in breakfast about 2 weeks ago, and two guys sitting behind me, they had just bought them, and they said, what do you recommend? Well, when I saw Al fly his for the first time, I think we were on a cement platform or something down by the river that he took off. And I noticed when he turned it on and it initialized that camera, you couldn't have put a hair between that camera and the cement where it was laying on. So you consider that being that low. We're not always taking off from that. We're taking off from grass, sometimes one of our flight pads or something. It's going to touch it. And I'm real sensitive about anything touching that camera. I get really nervous about.
Yeah.
So if you can get those leg extensions and the sun shield for the camera, it's really in your best interest to be able to do that, because when you're breaking these drones, it's not a problem if you snap an arm. They're cheap. But when you get into gimbals and you get into frames and batteries and stuff like that, that's where it's going to get really expensive. So as you're buying these drones, make sure that you have a little extra money on the side to buy some stuff to protect it. Because if not, you just can't get some of these replacement parts, Al. You just can't get them.
Agreed. And I just bought I actually have a video coming out with the accessories to protect your investments. That would be your Air 2 and S investment. And I tell you what, I waited about 3 months to get that sun shield. And obviously the sun shield for the Air 2, the Mavic Air 2, as they call it, does not fit correctly. I tried it and doesn't fit. The camera is so much bigger. So that just kind of changes the game. So where do you go to buy these parts? I mean, where do you source them? I mean, what I usually use Banggood and AliExpress, depending on what it is. The Feely parts were easy to find on AliExpress, and some in Banggood also. But for the DJI parts, where do you go to get them?
Well, so far I found that AliExpress was carrying the camera and the gimbal, the whole set from day one. From day one, they had it. So I don't know whether they had a deal worked out with DJI or the manufacturer, whoever, but you could get them. But the issue is they would say like in stock 5, $326, and then it would say 4 to 6 weeks for shipping.
Yeah, coming on a slow boat container, you're thinking?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
And then they got to dig through every one of those parts in there and getting cleared. And by the time you get it, it's like 6 months, maybe. No, I'm just kidding. 3 months, maybe. But let me see if I can find that. So DJI gimbal. Let's see what we come up here. Gimbal.
Hey, I'm looking at Maddie's comment here. He said, can't go wrong with the Mini 2. I'll be honest. I've heard more people say that they've crashed the Mini and they picked it up and it just flew again. So what is it, the difference between the Mini and the bigger drones? That when we crash the bigger ones, the gimbal breaks, but yet when they're crashing the Mini, it never breaks. What gives?
I don't know. So it looks like Brad's going to be out. No problem, Brad. Thanks for letting us know. Yeah, I totally get it. Yeah, and so I typed in, DJI. Let's just say Air 2 gimbal. Let's see what we get out of Bango, and then I'm going to hit AliExpress.
And that's the whole point too, because I would like to see them sell the actual. The gimbal is not the camera. The camera's mounted on the gimbal. I'd love to see them sell the gimbal parts because you can get them for the Mini. I'm not sure about the Mini 2, but I know you can buy them for the Mini. And I'm thinking they're in the $30 range, something there for the 2 or 3 little pieces of plastic it is. But when I look up for the Air 2 and the larger drones, they're never giving me the plastic parts. They're only giving me the whole camera assemble with the gimbal.
Yeah, and check this out over at AliExpress. I'll share my screen with you guys so you can see what I'm looking at also. Yeah, so I looked up DJI Mini gimbal, and it's $138 for the whole unit. Wow, that's a pretty good deal, right? And you can see that there's somebody else selling other additional parts for it. So you can definitely get parts for that, but let's look for the Air 2S gimbal. Air 2S. And here's a price for the
Exactly. Look at the prices of those. They're in the fours.
Yeah, we're looking at $498 for those. And when you replace this part, oh yeah, here's the sun shield for the Air 2S right here. Highly recommend these. And I'm not a big fan of these leg extensions. I got another one that I got these two, and forget the no-name brand one that I purchased that looked much better than that. This cover here looks pretty cool. What do you think of that?
I don't know. I think that might just be a gimbal protector for your case, Al, because it's covering too much of the drone.
Yeah, it's definitely covering the sensors too.
Yeah, I'm thinking more about during flight. One point Al made to me that when I bought my sun shield for my Air 2 was when you go, you can actually on that controller Al, what is it? You can move your hand on that controller or something to get it to move over a little left and right more?
Yeah, Ken from the original Domo discovered that with the Mavic Pro is that you hold 2 fingers separated and slide them across, and you end up with moving the gimbal left and right like you're moving the drone. And you could only move it a certain degree. It's like another almost like 40 degrees.
Right.
So,
but we did decide that when you do that you can see the sun shield when you're doing your filming. Now, with that said, I haven't tried, and I don't know if Al had tried before, but if you've got an Air 2, and I guess the new AS also, when you go into your gimbal settings in there, there's an extra button in there or slider that you can turn on, and I think it gives you 18 or 20% more angle, Al, going up.
Yeah.
A lot of people not sure. I use it for like, sometimes I want to fly at night and catch the moon. And like when you see a really good moon view and you want to get it and you back up just as far as you can thinking you're going to get it in there, you can't. But with that extra little bit of 18%, you can lift it up enough in order to get that in your image, because that's something that I did after the drone came out. And Al pointed it out to me, and I was like, hey, this gives me an extra percentage up. But I don't know if it actually sees a shield or not, because I didn't have my shield on.
I don't think it does, because as you're standing on his nose, just cruising as fast as you can, that's how the camera is pointing up.
Right. But if you're just in a standstill at night, like I was trying to do a night shot and I just couldn't get it. I was like, hey, I remember Al told me to go in and turn that on. So I went into the setting of the gimbal, and the setting in there lets you actually bring it up a little bit more. And it's paid off in certain ways.
And now with Air 2S, that might really work for a moonshot.
Yeah.
Because now we can zoom in. So if you're running 1K, you should be able to zoom in 6x. So 6x is a long way to zoom in on the moon. So I'm sure it's going to look grainy, but it'll still look cool. So that's what I'm seeing on AliExpress and Banggood. I'm seeing that we have availability on the Air 2S gimbals now. They're expensive. You might as well buy a new drone, $438. That's a lot of money, Robbie.
Yeah. Well, for the Air 2, the Air 2 has them now on Amazon, so you can get them off Amazon now. But look at the time. We're like close to a year and a half out, and they're on Amazon now.
Yeah, and here, let me share the prices on what I've found. So here are the prices for, let me share the screen, guys. Share. Here's the prices for the Air 2. Half the price of the 2S.
Well, it's cheaper now, though. It was cheaper now because before it was $325. So they're in the twos now, yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, it's definitely, and looking at these silicone sleeves, oh my gosh, they're the best thing for your controller. You were the one that showed me that, remember, Robbie?
Yeah, because Al kept taking me out to the water, and he'll tell you I was real nervous when I first started flying, because I would say, Al, he's flying over here, and I said, Al, I got a problem. I can't find my drone. He's like, look on your screen. I'm like, but I can't see it. And he's like, Robbie, stop looking for the drone. Look on the remote. Start using the remote. Well, he would take me around water when I first started flying. I'm like, Al, it's bad enough that I don't want to crash, but you're putting me over water. So we bought these. We bought these silicone cases that go around the controller for the Air 2, because they've got the lantern hook on it where you can put around your neck. And let me tell you, there's been a couple of times where me and him have been on the bridge over the water where he lost the Skydio. It's very rapid water right there. And had I not had that, I know in one case, my controller would have been history. And keep in mind, my drone's in the air.
Yeah, you're right. That is a scary thought, isn't it, losing your controller? Yeah, so the lanyard is a big deal. Not only the silicone protector on it, because it kind of does protect it to some scratches and dings. I mean, obviously, it's not going to protect it from 10-foot drop or something like that, but it's definitely going to protect it for a 3-foot drop, no doubt about it, because it is silicone, solid silicone, for sure. And one of the other things that to be really careful is when you're changing all your gears around water, right? And you experienced that with one of your batteries. You want to share what happened to you with that battery?
Yeah, exactly. Me and Al were down at the pipeline. I guess that's what they call the pipeline in the James River. And we were actually filming some kayakers. And as we were filming, I had my stuff on a rough, big rock that was kind of at an angle. And I had a battery like tumble out of my drone case right into the water. I was in probably a foot of water standing, and the battery hit. By the time I realized what hit the water, thank goodness it wasn't the drone and it was just the battery. I picked it up right away. The lights were going crazy on it. And, just being in the wrong place at the wrong time and not paying attention to my equipment.
Yeah. And I remember you holding that battery, and it was just dripping water out of it.
Yeah, water. The
I was
lights were
like,
going crazy. And Al said, maybe you can dry it out. That's when he
I'm like,
showed me
turn it
a
on,
product.
man. I want to see
Yeah, he
what
showed me a
happens.
product that'll absorb the water, which
Yeah,
helps. But I'll say
different.
this: if
Yeah,
you guys are buying the covers that go over the bottom of the air tube or the other DJI batteries, do not buy the hard 3D printed material. The reason is it doesn't flex and it doesn't put a good seal around that. Had I had that on that drone when it hit the water, even though I might have got some water in the top where the button is, I don't think it would have gotten in as bad had I had that. So when you're buying those, if it says 3D printed, don't buy them. Buy the ones that are made of rubber and they fit around it like a glove. So
yeah,
if you drop it
yeah.
in there, water's not going to penetrate that part of the battery.
Agreed. I mean, I really like those protectors. I think it's definitely worth purchasing, guys. And so we are 7:41 is the time. So we've been rocking and rolling. We're probably going to have to skip on the FAA topic, guys, because our SME, our subject matter expert on that one, is Fred. He was taking the lead on that, but he had unfortunately. He had to go take care of his mother. And so we're just going to discuss these two topics here. But um, let's talk about what you're working on, Robbie. Anything special you're working on? I know you've been working really hard on the web pages, and we have a couple surprises coming up soon.
Right.
I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag, and I hope you don't either. But yeah, what have you been working on? Web pages?
Well, actually, it's been 4 months since I put a video out. I've had some other projects since I've been here. For those who don't know me, I live in Thailand full time, and I came back and met Al last February or March when the virus hit. I came here, and I kind of got stuck thinking I was going to be here for a month or two, and I've been here for about 15 months now. So,
yeah.
Before my channel was tech and more computer related and stuff like that, and then Al got me hooked on drones, and I started adding that into the channel, and I've just fallen in love with it. I've learned so much of watching him fly, although sometimes, not that I get bored because I love flying, but when Al goes, you're not leaving until every bag in that truck is dead. So if you got 2 batteries and he's got 14, take a lunch. So I've just been working on trying to get things ready. I got my new intro going, and fixing to put together some video stuff now, and start releasing my videos now that I have time to do it. And then I'm not really sure in the future what month I'm actually going to be going back. So I need to go ahead and just start putting out some more videos with that. Along with that said, we've been working with our Facebook group, World Drone Community. We've got some really good talent from all over the world in there. If y'all not joined that yet, it's a private group. It's World Drone Community. Go and join me and Al. We admin that, and it's a good place to go for information, knowledge, find out what's going on in the drone world. And for anybody that's new into drones, which most of the people I see that are watching, at least that are typing here, y'all probably know about all this stuff, but we are pushing to get some stuff done and get some stuff built with the World Drone Community. We are building a website for it too, and we'll get into more detail as it gets ready to launch, and just let you know how that's going to be able to benefit us as a group with what we're doing in the drone community. And we're just trying to get more people involved in droning as it is today.
Yeah, it's a wonderful thing to do because you could be out there bar hopping and chasing women, but here we are geeking out with drones, right? So yeah, I like that part. All right, so this is what I've been fixated on hyperlapses lately. I've been hyperlapsing and hyperlapsing and hyperlapsing. So I'm going to share with you guys a video of a hyperlapse and see and talk through it at the same time. So I'll go ahead and share. Let's see, share. Oh, I have to stop sharing first. I had 2 shares for some reason. Okay, so here we are. It's going to be black at first, but I'm going to go ahead and play it. And so here we go. Okay, so this is the Air 2S early in the morning, coming out of a group of trees straight into the downtown Richmond. And what we see here is this white building is the Ethel Corporation. And I have a star filter. I did say I had a star filter on here, right? So hopefully they'll, here we go. Then this is exactly what I wanted to do for the star filter. See that little star coming from the light? And then it's a hyperlapse free and flying right in the middle of the city. And then showing you the sunrise coming up. So I was there around 5:45 in the morning, and this is about 5 minutes to 6. The reflection off the Dominion Power building is one of the neatest things that I've seen in a long time. I'll have to add a little bit of color and color grading, but yeah, check out the flag, man. It's just whipping around, and so it's amazing that the drones can be this stable to show you all this stuff. So that's what I've been working on, guys. I've been working on hyperlapsing and more hyperlapsing. So I don't know why, but I also have the best accessories for protecting your Air 2S coming out. And I know Fred's been working on a bunch of other things. Well, yeah, I've been working on shirts too. I've been working on shirts, and with the world drone community is the focus. But I'm just trying to come up with a style that you guys might like to order and purchase some of these shirts, because I know, Robbie, you and I could probably get a bunch of shirts made for people if they want.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we're ready. I like the way that shirt looks. For a lot of you guys, when you go out, you know how it is when you fly the drone. The kids bring the parents bring the family members, and they're trying to talk to you, and we're out there trying to make videos. It gets a little annoying trying to answer the same. You know what they're going to ask you every single time. So this kind of gives you a little bit of something that they can read, because Al's got some other shirts. It's got it's expensive. It flies over 3 miles, all the other information on some of the shirts. It's a good way to promote your channel or your brand. And the QR code works good because you can actually scan that QR code and it'll take you straight over to the channel.
Ah, there it is, the star.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah, so me and Al, hit it with the phone and you get boom right to the web page.
Now, Al, does that take you to the YouTube channel or take you to the .live site?
This one has taken me, I can't remember. I think it's taken us to the .live site. Yeah.
.live. Yeah, it became apparent that since we use Instagram, Facebook, all the other social medias, when people are asking you, hey, what's your Instagram, what's your Facebook account, this and that. So what me and Al did was we bought our websites and then we bought .live domain also. And on the .live domain, matter of fact, can you share yours out? Your
sure.
.live?
Let me go ahead and bring it up. Keep talking.
And that way, if you make QR codes or you're making advertisements to draw people into your social media, you can get a .live domain for, I think, like $4 or $5. And then when you do that, you can actually put all your social media on one domain. So when they're scanning it, they can join all your social medias off one page. It'll save you a lot of talking when you're out trying to fly.
Yeah, so I'll go ahead and share the screen. One of the other things that is important too, as you're marketing while you're out there flying, right? Just get some business cards made with QR codes, right? Robbie, you helped me out with that. That was all a very nice thing to do. So what you're seeing now is the .live, Duranify.live. So from here is a jumping point to each one of these social medias. And Robbie, I've been doing TikTok. How about you? You've been doing any TikTok?
I have not done any right now. I've been so busy with everything, and I've got a friend that passed away. I got to go to a funeral on Wednesday, so I have just been so busy with everything out. I've not had time to get everything done that I need to do.
Yeah, and obviously, the same goes with Brad. His mother passing away. It's got to be brutal. So, anyway, this is a picture from Lake Anna, and so you can get to the social media. So, $15. Also, Robbie makes web pages. So, if you're interested in getting a domain and a web page, I'm going to put in a plug for you, Robbie, here.
I appreciate it. I don't do them. My company does them. That's what type of business I'm in. I'm actually a programmer. So if you need that, Al can hook you up with that. If you live in Costa Rica and you need internet, let me know. I'm the internet provider in Costa Rica. So that's kind of what I do when I'm not out flying drones. And it allows me to fly drones when I want to.
Yeah. So that's the project that we've been working on. I've been working on shirts. We're working on, getting this hyperlapse stuff done, but also been kind of lost my steam of doing my next FPV build. But I'm looking forward to finishing that iFly Titan XL5 with HD on it. So it's got the air unit in it from DJI. Now it's called the Caddx Air Unit. We officially changed names since that transition or divergence of the FPV side of the business went to Caddx. So it'll be interesting to see if Caddx puts together a drone ready to fly with other components that's kind of be not the FPV drone we see today, but it would be nice to be able to use the DJI FPV drone camera on the air unit and then be able to manipulate up and down as you're flying. But again, that would mean that you would have to use a DJI digital controller to make it all work. But I think that's where we're headed on that. But let's see if we have any shameless promotions from anybody out there. Anybody want to join us here on Open Live Mic? I'll put the link in the description right now. Let me go ahead and grab that and I'll drop it in the description. You guys are welcome to join us.
While he's doing that, Al, I want to ask a question because we have a lot of the experienced droners here online. We got Johnny Drone Flyer, Fly Zone Drones. Who else we got in here? Ray Kelly, a lot of you guys. Me and Al were talking about this last week, and this is something that I was kind of trying to get some ideas from you guys. And my point as a programmer, I'm wanting to develop an app. And I want the app to be able to have some special features in it, like it'll show you where you can fly, where you can't fly. Maybe there's an area on there where we can go into a location. Say we're flying somewhere. I want to be able to hit the button on it. It marked the GPS location. I want to be able to share that, but I want it to be set up also like a messenger on the app. So that way, if Al's flying in one area and I'm flying in the other, or we're going to meet, we can communicate with it. So I guess my question is for you experienced flyers out there, if you had to have one app that did it all, I'd like to know what you would put in that app to make it work, because I know we have some apps out there now that do some pretty cool stuff. But if you had to have one app that did it all, let us know what you would put in that app that would be beneficial, because me and Al were talking and he had a great point of having an app where you can actually go in and click in and say, hey, we're going to have a meetup on this particular point. And then from that, people could click it and get directions on where it's going to be, how to get there. And then with that, as we're all driving out, we could be communicating through this app. So if you guys have got some good ideas on what you would like to have, one of the things that I wanted to have in it was to have a screen recorder built into it, because there's a lot of times when we go out and we're flying and, we may not be able to text as the drone is flying, but, as the drone flies, it would be nice to be able to communicate at the same time for that. So give us some ideas on what you guys would put in a mobile app.
Yeah.
Give us some ideas.
I know I would want to do like some kind of meetup scheduling app. So I'll be here at this time. Anybody want to join me? It's kind of like a live stream, right? We got a live stream going on. You guys want to join us? Here it is,
Yeah.
So kind of like that.
Yeah. There's been a lot of times, Al, where you've gone out and maybe we don't touch base and you'd already be out flying. And then I text you and you're like, dude, I've been out here 45 minutes. Yeah. So I missed you. So had we had something that we could have communicated with, of course we have a messenger, but if we had something on the app, when we hear it, we'll know, hey, that's somebody that wants to fly. Let's look at the message.
Yeah. So Yeah, we definitely had an interesting conversation. Here's Ray Kelly. I'm going to add him to the stream. Hey, Ray.
Hey, Al. Hey,
Hey,
Ralph.
nice shirt. Nice
How you
shirt. I
doing?
like it.
I wanted to personally come in and say thank you very much for my new shirt. I love it. Let me show everybody. Let me show everybody what's on the back. Can you
All
see?
right, there we go. Ray, you made my day.
Hey,
But I'll
Ray,
tell you, man, it's
that
very,
looks
very nice.
really
Thank you very much.
looks looks you're looking good, my friend. Looking good. And look, I did exactly the same shirt as yours, but I added this stuff to the side. That's the only thing. And I added this to the back, which is fly with Duranify.
Yeah,
Just
nice,
fly Duranify.
nice.
And then World Drones underneath it. So yeah, yeah. And I mean, I just couldn't resist buying them, man. I was like, this one's for Ray and this one's for me, and I'm going to put the logos on it, and there you go. So,
Well, I'll tell you one thing. You guys got a good show going. There's no doubt about it, man. A lot of good info.
well, thanks so much. I mean, so much, Ray. We appreciate you. I know the rest of the droning community are super excited when you come on board, and you just light up the room, man. Thanks for joining. Really do.
Well, thanks for the invite to come in, you know.
Yeah, man. Anybody else want to, we have the open mic for about 3 to 5 more minutes, so you're welcome to join in. So what's been happening? You've been in New York, right? Not in Florida.
Yeah, I'm back in New York. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. Up here enjoying the hot weather. We've been getting hot weather.
Nice.
You know, I'm
You
hoping to get
know,
a nice morning flight in this week and go by the Peconic River in downtown Riverhead and do a nice flight along the river there.
a nice early morning flight, I would imagine. It gets so
Oh, about
hot so quick.
sunrise. Sunrise would be nice, but
Yeah.
we'll see if I get up that early.
Yeah, I hear you. Good for you. So you got a meetup coming up in where is it? Connecticut? No. Where's your meetup at?
Rhode Island. I'm going to go
Rhode
to
Island.
Rhode Island. Yeah, Mark Fisher. He's organizing that, and he's doing a real good job. He's got a lot of people that told him they're coming. I think it's going to be a great meetup.
Now, for the audience, could you mind sharing when and where?
Yeah, it's on July 31st in Providence, Rhode Island. I forget the name of the park. I don't have it handy right now, but it's going to be a nice park right on the water. And he's got two Mavic Mini Fly More combos that he's going to be giving away.
Dang, I think I might take a drive up there then. So, what time is the kickoff? And
I believe it starts at 8 o'clock, and it's going to go until I guess 5 or 6. But then they're going to have another evening flight in Newport, Rhode Island.
oh, okay, so that's nice. So that kind of like my wheelhouse there. Just fly on, fly and fly and fly. That sounds fun.
Yeah, I think it's going to be good. And like anything else, crossing our fingers for the weather, But I think it's going to be a great day.
Yeah. So Matt's actually posting here that we're talking about the April 2nd, 2022 South Florida drone meetup already scheduled. You got that on the books already. Awesome.
Yeah. The following week, after we had the first annual, we got together and we took a short poll because people didn't like having it in March.
Yeah.
So we accommodated them, and we're having it April 2nd, 2022, and we're going to move the location to Jensen Beach, Florida.
Okay. And can you kind of give when you say Jensen Beach or somebody doesn't know Florida, I don't know where it's at. So is it near Orlando? Is it near Tampa?
Yeah, no. It's on the East Coast. And it's about an hour and 15 minutes north of Fort Lauderdale, if you know that area.
Okay, so above West Palm Beach area. Yeah.
Jupiter.
Yeah.
35 minutes north of Jupiter. but it's a real nice area. Maddie, we had a mini meetup there last year, and it was a nice location to fly. So we decided to have the South Florida meetup there this year.
That's awesome,
Next
man.
22.
I think I'm gonna beach it. I got a I got some timeshares that I can book at West Palm Beach. There's 2 locations, Marriott vacation clubs there, and I got to blow some points, man. I've just got too many points.
Got to use them. You don't want to lose them. Use them.
Yeah, and the thing about it, I went through all these surgeries, and then COVID hit, and so it's like year and a half. Very unusual for me not to vacation a year and a half. I usually get 2 or 3 vacations in by then. But
I posted a short promo video on the South Florida drone meetup. It's mostly photos from last year's meetup, but it was a little trailer, so it goes by quick, and it'll give people a flavor for what we're going to be doing.
Yeah, and
this morning. Yep.
Yeah, and I'm sure Matt is super excited because that's his backyard. It sounds like, right?
Well, I got to give a lot of credit to Maddie and Brad and Johnny Dronefly. They're helping me, and they do a lot of work too behind the scenes.
Yeah.
I hate to say people give me the credit, but they deserve the credit too.
Yeah, they do a lot of the heavy lifting under the covers, man. They definitely do. I know that he's going to be doing a lot of that at Spin Up also. So, yeah, I mean, without people like that, it'd be hard to get things done. So, thank God we have people like that.
I'm looking forward to Spin Up too. That's November.
Yeah, that's coming up fast. Yeah. I still got a bunch of Dell heads there, buddies of mine. I call them Dell heads because, dude, it's like the Grateful Dead club when you work for Dell. Because you compete against HP, okay? You just want to crush HP for some reason. You just hate each other. And when I worked for Silicon Graphics, everybody hated Sun Microsystems. Everybody, and we would raid each other's campuses. Like we'd go raid their campus was like spray. And some people would go over there with spray cans and all that other stuff. It was a war between campuses in Mountain View, California. It was crazy.
So Robbie, you're going to be going back to Taiwan pretty soon, huh?
Yeah, in Thailand. Yeah, I don't know when it's going to be yet. It's probably still going to be a couple of months. They can't make their mind up when they're going to open their borders, and they've got so many problems with the vaccines. My girlfriend was vaccinated and just had some surgery done. They're like, "You have no antibodies," and I'm like, "Honey, what does that mean?" She said, "It doesn't work." But in Asia, they get the one from China. They don't get the U.S., the good one, but they have another one that she's supposed to be getting. So I just need things to clear up because I was really excited about being able to go out to the different islands, and I had planned to take a trip over to the Philippines and do some stuff there because a lot of you guys, if you're seeing anything on the Philippines, all the YouTubers are on boots on the floor. You never see nothing drone wise. And I want to be able to be the one to be able to go out and get some of those good images. So right now I'm in Nashville visiting my brother right now and just trying to get things together and start making videos again. I've been busy for probably the last 3 or 4 months and haven't put any videos out, but I just want to get a little bit closer. I've got some things that I'm looking up for. And of course, me and Al are always doing something in the background, trying to make plans to make things better where we can all get together and communicate better and do different stuff. With these meetups, Al, we probably need to make, you or Ray need to make like a calendar, see if we can put together when these meetups are going to be on a calendar. And we need to post that on World Drone Community because we do
I'll
have.
tell you what, Ray's been busy with all the live stream stuff. You and Johnny, holy crap, you guys put that list together for us. That's awesome. But yeah, I mean, talk about a spin up, Robbie. You can do one in Virginia Beach, man, and you probably get a good crowd that would vacation here. I know that Ron loves a vacation around beaches. Ron Brown, that is. Remember, he came down and stayed an extra week down there. So I think we should do that.
I like Ron Brown and Marcus. They're coming on tonight. I look forward to their show every week. I really do. Drone Nation. You know, it's one of the best.
Yeah, I agree. And you know what? I cut my teeth on live streaming on their show. I was like the first guest of Drone Nation because I had the Zeno at the time. So did Ron, and so did Marcus. So we were all like watching the Zeno do the crazy Zeno thing. I mean, that thing was crazy at first. You thought the Mini, man, from the Femi Mini was crazy. Oh my God, nothing compared to the Zeno. That Zeno was just freaking nuts, man. I was lucky. I still have it in one piece. Unlike the Zeno 2, that's not in one piece anymore. But that's okay. All right, so we've reached 8:06, Robbie. So we got to cut this thing off. We're 6 minutes overdue. Ray, awesome having you, man. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks,
a good
Ray.
night. Everybody in the chat, have a good night. I'll let you guys
have a good night, guys. Thanks
and fly safe. Fly for fun and fly safe.
Peace, love, and all that good stuff in life. See you, Robbie. Bye-bye, guys.
See you.